guys, welcome back to Clockwork Dandy Noodles for another breakdown of Spy X Family Core 2 Episode 2. Welcome back to the Noodle Bowl. Hello, I'm back. I apologise for the slight delay. I think this one's only 2 days late. Before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We are aiming to hit 610 by Halloween. Can we do it? We're only 8 away. This week's episode was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I've got shorter notes. I am approaching this video in a slightly different way. Let's talk initially about the moment where Anya is genuinely apologising for walking off and freaking out Yor. I think this is one of those moments where we see their bond as a mother and daughter grow. Anya realises that she's caused Yor panic. Yor is terrified of what may have happened to her. She understands that she walked off. Obviously, she does also walk off again on the doggo at the end. It's a very nice moment to see both of them growing, and the moment where she sees Yor's face because Yor growls at the dog and the dog is like freaked out and gets the F out of there. Anya is like, I'm scared, and it's not a I'm scared of the situation, it's I'm scared of that face. That face is terrifying to me. It's a moment where Anya's seeing a slightly more scarier side of Yor, but then she apologises. It's a very nice moment where they're starting to grow together. It's also a very nice moment where we do see the big fluffy doggo. He is released from his enslavement to the terrorists, which is really nice. Again, not going to say the name until it is dropped in the anime, but I like the name. The name really does fit the dog. I have also worked out that the dog we are looking at is a Great Pyrenees. They are really, really chill. In most of the pictures I've seen, they don't have the feet. They don't have the darker bits on the feet, but our doggo's got a bit of a slight license. He's allowed to look cool. I think it works and it really suits him. And the Great Pyrenees doggies are just generally big, lovable giants. They're just big giants. And I do find out with most big dog breeds, giants who just want a good old cuddle, who just want to sleep, generally just sit there most of the time and do nothing. And it's the smaller dogs that end up barking like crazy at them. The scary premonition when we see Lloyd die might have started to freak a bit because the thought of losing any one of these characters is terrifying to me. I don't want to see it. It did remind me a bit of Back to the Future where Marty has the picture. His family starts to be erased because if he doesn't stop something happening, then they all vanish. It reminds me of that because Anya has to now try and prevent the death of her father by changing a few things. Also, she sees the start of the World War. She sees one of those moments which triggers the war. And this blends into my big theory, and if you've been on my channel for the first core breakdown, my theory is Anya is the main character. She is recalling all of this story in the future. I believe that at some point in the future she's going to discuss, this is how I met my parents, this is my childhood, this is everything. That would also put Anya in precedent for saving Lloyd and also preventing World War. She wants to achieve something. She keeps saying that she wants to be a hero. Her mission is to save the world, to protect peace. She's definitely going to be protecting peace if she can prevent a war going on. Now, the moment in the anime that literally gave me the shivers, that gave me the chills, Handler's lament over war. Interesting character that I really want to know more of, but I feel we actually learned quite a bit already about the backstory. We have alluding to that she would have at one point had a lover who sadly dies, and then her parents also die. She also alludes to starvation and something even darker within this sentence. She ends obviously putting a gun to the guy's head, but we don't know if she pulls it. Probably doesn't, but she is a scary character who looks really cool. I love her design, but it's that moment where we are dealing with something very serious. In episode 2, there was a serious vibe hanging in the air all the way through it. We shook away those cheery comic vibes and we were down quite serious, with Anya rushing almost at one point to almost get herself blown up. This could go horrifically wrong at any moment. Our characters are in danger. It's nerve-wracking because you don't exactly know what's going to happen. So this episode has a very different vibe from the rest of the series so far, and I like it. I like it going a little bit more darker. I really enjoy it. Anya trying to work out what time was on the clock is absolutely charming. I love it. She tries to use her arms to mimic the display, then realizes I can't actually read. What am I doing? I can't read. I really like this. Seeing the dog on the floor trying to catch his breath because he's out of shape. Same, bro. Same. I consider myself kind of fit. I don't consider myself as fit as I should be, but I did have the moment where I think I walked up quite a few flights of steps, and at the top I needed a moment. I needed a breather. Love the way Anya also figures out how much time is left by asking an old kindly gentleman, what time does the clock go? Boing. I like that. Everything of Anya, her writing, the way she's written, just reminds me of a child, and I love how random she can be. Spur of the moment, she'll do something without really having much behind it, and I like how spontaneous she is. That's the word I was looking for, spontaneous. I did initially think she had a bit longer than 30 minutes. I think the terrorist boss dude says he has 2 hours. I think the main guy has 2 hours before the summit starts. The moment when we get the question, how do you disarm a bomb? Literally all I could think about was the game. There's a indie game out there. It's known for having really bad controls. I think it's Hand Simulator. There is a mode where you can disarm a bomb. Oh, Don't Stop Talking. There's also another game where it's called Don't Stop Talking, and you have to go through puzzles with a partner, and the partner can't see what you're looking at, and you have to describe it to them. You have to together disarm the bomb within a set time limit or everything explodes. It reminded me of that moment because she's trying to work out, what do I do? How do I disarm this thing? Hollywood has lied to us. We all believe that it's cut the red wire, cut this wire. I'm pretty sure that this is actually correct. Most of those wires do look the same at Anya's face when seeing that there's no red wire. I love it because she does eventually just stop. She doesn't try to disarm it. Does leave that very interesting message on the door, which is hilarious and definitely going to be in the thumbnail. Great to see that she doesn't try to disarm it on her own. Lloyd reappearing after this moment made me so much better. I was so happy that he came back. At this point, I guess he's not going to die because we haven't got a new premonition stating when a character's going to die or not, which could be quite handy, that powers, if we do get Doggo into the family, because he can now tell Anya if something's going to go wrong. No eggplant. Absolutely hilarious. I didn't see an eggplant. All I saw was the word no and a big kind of splud. Seeing them come this close to death. This moment, the last sequence, we go into the chase sequence with the boss guy, Lloyd, the clove stealer. But I do love the fact that on the phone to the minister, she's like, to preserve our dignity, please put on some cloves. It's going to be late already, so he's already going to appear late. But I would laugh if he appears at the conference wearing like his tracky bums or something, or a hoodie or something. This is all I literally have in my hotel room or something. The last moment with the dog chase is both exhilarating and very sad because the dog doesn't know what it's doing and the dog also doesn't know what's about to happen. And even Lloyd says, I'm sorry because you didn't ask for this. He accepts that animals are getting roped in to do the bidding of bad people. Bad people are bringing animals into warfare, and that is the saddest part for me, is seeing animals getting roped into human conflicts. But we don't know what's going to happen just yet, so whether he pulls the trigger or not, he probably will. I guess that might happen off screen if that does occur, because I think next week, I think this plot line gets resolved because the title is A New Family Member. I think we're finally going to get the name for the dog, and we're finally going to have that sequence of them welcoming the dog into the family, which would be great. The last little bit I did laugh at was just the reaction to seeing the 60-year-old minister doing like pole vaults, running around and just going, oh my goodness, is he supposed to be a geezer or something? That was a funny moment. I thought that was enjoyable. Overall, a very good episode. I really enjoyed it. It had a very different vibe from the rest of them. I'm more game for this. If the anime wants to go darker at times, I'm totally for it because I think it handles it very nicely. The speech did give me literal chills when she was talking and discussing about horrors she had seen. And you've got these guys who are all blindfolded and they think she's just some hag or something. They all go quiet as soon as she starts talking about boiling human flesh, or she starts talking about starvation, loved ones being crushed by building rubble and stuff. The whole war needs to stop. And the moment when Lloyd also says, I'm done with war, you realise that there is a hardcore message behind all of the silliness, all of the colour that is going on with the anime. Really, really like it. Really can't wait to see where the anime goes. I can't wait to be able to discuss the dog's name because I know it, and I can't wait to hear it drop and be able to talk about it because I think it's a fantastic name choice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your support really does mean a lot for me. Hopefully at some point I'll be bringing you my midway review. This is where I'm going to crown my top 3 and also my top 3 OPs EDs. I've got some on the list, but I need to wait for everything to start airing. I also don't know how I'm going to judge Chainsaw Man because I have been told there's 11 or 12 different songs being used as EDs because every single episode is going to have essentially its own song. Feels a little bit cheaty. I may have to take the initial 6 I have before the midway review, see if I have one in particular that I really like, and if I need to give it a spot, I'll maybe pick my favourite, which could be biased because I'm a really big fan of Eve, and I think Eve's got a song. We will see what happens. Thank you guys so much. I hope to see you next week. Make sure you are subscribed. It allows you to stay tuned in to all the stuff that's going on the channel. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.